Onkka on YouTube, here to provide the tools for you to manifest anything. Anything. What does it take to perform a miracle? I'm going to actually share that with you in this video. Every single person watching this video and beyond can perform miracles. Let's actually define a miracle. A miracle is that which is extraordinary from the usual manifestation. You are manifesting 24/7. It's not something you do when you focus on something and you want something. You're manifesting all the time, so this is why it's imperative for you to focus on that which you desire, because you're always manifesting. This is why so many of us are living lives that we don't desire, because we're really not consciously focusing on that which we'd like to experience in our lives. We're focused on the negative, or the poor me, or why did this happen to me? Because we see life as a problem. We see our unpleasant situations as problems and not opportunities for growth. And so we have a story in our head that's negative, and we're projecting that story, and thus the quantum field gives it right back to us. It's a mirror, right? Everything is exactly what you're thinking and feeling. There's no delay in that, by the way. So there is a delay in manifesting in the material world at times, but the actual power of turning a wave into a particle happens immediately. And the more you focus on that thing, the more it actually turns into something material in this world. Sometimes it takes time for things to align and other people and other things to be in place, because we're on linear time here. The illusion of it, at least. All right, so let's not get into all this complex stuff. I'm sharing that with you because we believe and think that we have limitations, and therefore we're projecting it. Therefore, anything that happens that is really amazing, we're calling a miracle, when that is actually what we can do anytime. How does that happen? How do we perform miracles? I'm going to share one thing with you before we start that is so important for you to know. You cannot perform a miracle for someone else unless they're participating. If a person is ill and they truly made a contract in advance and it's time for them to go, or maybe grandma's ready to go and grandma is like done and very happy and ready to, go on to new and amazing things, and no one wants grandma to go, grandma will go no matter how much you pray for grandma to stay. Now, grandma may make some decisions to hang around a little while longer because you're stressing her out and she feels bad about leaving. But there's always a mutual decision, so no one can infringe on your free will. So a miracle, let's just say, somebody cannot manifest something for you, especially 9 times out of 10, it's not what you want at all. People impose what they want on another person. So Christ could not perform miracles all the time. The other person had to participate in that belief, the desire, and on that path. They had to choose that path. So if healing was not something that they ultimately were supposed to do or planned on doing in advance because they were going to learn a lot from being ill or whatever it was their lesson was, then they would not be healed. And that was not Christ's information to know. He just performed what was requested of him, and the rest was up to that other party. So I want to get that straight, because if you're involving somebody else in there, there's free will that will make or negate, override that miracle that you desire to perform. So we're going past just manifesting. We're talking about something that seems like so way beyond just getting the job or getting the relationship. We're talking about spontaneous healing, or overnight, financial abundance that's just so crazy. Sort of some of the stuff that I do is in that category. It's like, come on, no one ever gets this stuff, right? It's just insane. It's not insane. It's quantum field. And so quantum physics says, mechanics says, what you focus on and believe, you can create. So why are we not creating the big stuff, the miracles, the healings? We're not there yet. We believe that that is reserved for higher people, for more enlightened people, for the Christs and the prophets and the amazing people who've been doing it, when they're the very ones that demonstrated it to us to let us know that we can do it. And we put them on a pedestal, and they do it, and that we have to go to them for it. And the only reason we can be healed is because we believe it, and we believe that they're doing it when we're actually doing it. They're actually giving us the gift of allowing us to heal ourselves. That's it. And that positive energy and whatever that they're emanating, which is very powerful, can contribute toward that. But it doesn't do it. This is all it is. It's absolute you picking something, knowing it, feeling secure that you're going to follow through with it. So if you want a healing, and you know that you're not looking at that illness as an enemy, you're not battling anymore with it. You are coming to terms with it. Because the more you battle something, you fuel it. So if you're battling it, it's evil, you want to get rid of it, whatever, then you are actually fueling it. So a lot of people wonder why they're not getting better. Because they're absolutely despise the illness, and they don't understand why it was there in the first place. They feel like victims, and so they're still in a negative mode. So their resistance is down, and so that disease or whatever affliction continues to overpower the healing process, because you're really focused on how it shouldn't be happening. And this is true of all your manifesting. When you come to terms with the fact that everything's exactly the way it should be, then you will look at it and say, okay, I've got myself here. I chose this path. I was manifesting, even if it was unconsciously. I was still the one manifesting it. How did I get here? And what do I want to do to change this? And this is definitely a gift for me to say to myself, why is this here? I had some belief, some thinking, some whatever going on that created that. So that needs to be corrected, needs in a good way, needs to be corrected for me to go into this other space of the person that no longer deals with the struggle of any kind. I want to go over here, because you end struggle not because challenges stop happening, but because you stop battling them. So when you go in awakened state, you don't find things as problem. They'll be uncomfortable. Trust me, you're a human being. You're still going to not want to be uncomfortable in every area of your life. But you don't see that as a negative. You don't battle it anymore. You see it as an opportunity, or there's always a reason, and you go into it and you say, okay, what does this mean? What am I supposed to do? Is there something I can correct, or I'm supposed to learn from this, or somebody else will benefit from this situation? You see life completely different. All right, so now you're switching over, and nothing's a problem anymore. So now you're going to a higher frequency. Guess where miracles happen? Higher frequencies. Why do people have to die first and come back to get spontaneous healing? Anita Morjani, go see her. She died, literally came back and was healed of an incurable stage 4, had tumors the size of grapefruits all over her body, couldn't even hold her head up or breathe. She was gone, stage 4. Her whole family was saying goodbye to her. The priest, everybody's there. I don't know if the priest was there, but somebody was there to help say goodbye to her. Her family was there. She had like hours to live, if that. She went, and she came back, and she found out on the other side why she was sick, why she was making herself ill. She found out that's exactly what's going on. She was pulling in all of the guilt feelings and all the things, the restrictions that she felt, and from her background and everything, what she should be doing, and how she disappointed her parents with the decisions she made, and always trying to make everybody happy and being confined. And this is major stress on the body. Because when you're battling that, you're not feeling good about the decisions you're making, and you're allowing society to tell you if you're okay or not. You're carrying around anger sometimes, or guilt, or sadness, or deep depression, and that takes its toll on your body. And so you are manifesting that. You're manifesting illness, and then so in order to perform a miracle, that has to go away. So you cannot go into a miracle state if you're still in that frame of mind and battling that. That's why somebody can't cure you if you're still believing that you are angry with your parents and you're carrying around and this is why you are the way you are. Supposedly cancer comes from built up anger, pushed back. I'm sure that's not true of everybody, but that's what I read about. Some of the experts, supposed experts, said that one of the reasons why people get cancer because there's an imbalance. It's all it is, an imbalance. Something taking over, your immune system goes down and it just takes over. That's all it is. It's not a punishment. It's an internal imbalance of some kind and something needs to be corrected. And there's, I'm sure, a million other reasons why people get cancer, including, all kinds of stuff that's going on out there, and the minute the immune system goes down, it takes over. So we're not here to talk about why, we're talking about how to correct this. One must recognize the situation for what it is and ask yourself why you're there in the first place. Ask yourself how you can release it and know that you don't have to live with that anymore. It's served its purpose. No more anger, no more frustration, no more victim. Releasing it and sometimes going to the absolute rock bottom in your life is the only way some people release it because it's like, what else do you have to lose, right? Eckhart Tolle did that. He was ready to kill himself. There was nothing else to lose. The ego died that night and he went into total bliss, into enlightenment. Spontaneous? Not really. He spent a lifetime of pure suffering, battling everything, battling his parents, struggling with all of that emotionally and his self-worth. So this is the key to performing miracles. When you absolutely understand that the illness is not your enemy, but your gift to understand where you must change your life and releasing and letting go, then your immune system will kick in and that illness is no longer your enemy and it subsides, it dissolves, it did its job, right? And then your immune system, which is the part of you that's not angry anymore, that is accepting, that is letting go, that knows that everything's as it should be, and even though you don't like it, there's great lessons and evolvement in that. And when you see that, your immune system will kick up because now you're in a good place. You're not seeing the nastiness of it all. You're seeing the beauty in it, as unpleasant as that may seem. There's beauty in this. Wow, what can I do from this point forward? Can I release the anger? Can I be okay with myself? Can I love myself? Can I recognize that anything that's going on in my life doesn't have to be that way? I can change it at any moment. Why am I not changing it? There's something I'm believing and battling, and that's taken down my immune system and everything else. So it's not always illness. A miracle could be you just turning your life completely around. Your marriage, your relationship with your kids, your family. Change whatever's going on that's creating the conflict. Stop battling it. No more struggle with whatever it is. No more struggle with whatever it is. Because then you are opening yourself up to the miracle. You open up to the miracle. All right? And when you open up to the miracle, you don't need Christ standing there giving it to you. You're already receiving it. You've already placed the miracle request and you're receiving it. And you're saying yes. And there's no obstructions between you and it anymore. And then you can wake up and that skin disease will start to go away. And you'll realize, wait a minute, I was trying to manifest, do all these things, but I was still hanging on to things that were blocking what is going on out there. And you can take that to the highest level. We're talking spontaneous healing and things that disappear that people or the doctors are saying, what? Where is it? This happens all the time. This is not unusual. We call it miracles because we don't use our manifesting powers and we just go for the little stuff and the job or the money or the relationship. And when it comes to real crisis in our life, we freak out. We go to that high level stress frequency. Boom, very intense blockage. It's down here. So the worse it gets out there, the more we go into ego and the more freaked out we get. So with the lower frequency we get and the more we're blocking the miracle from happening. And when you let go, I know it's tough to let go. I know it's tough to let go. But you can go into miracles. If you take my e-course, if you go to landriaonka.com, or if you sign up here, I'm going to put this up here. Right here is, you can sign up for Manifest Anything in 5 steps. This is a short little manifest. Every day you get a new manifesting lesson, and then every week you'll get new lessons from me. If you sign up there, you'll get an opportunity to sign up for landriaonka.com. It's called Breakthrough Fear. It's getting 5 stars. 100% of the people that have given me a rating gave me 5 stars. They're breaking through the barriers, and we go into one of the last lessons is living life as a miracle. When you go to that state where you're no longer afraid, when you feel the fear and you don't react to it, that's when you're not afraid. You experience it, but you're not going into fear. You learn to deal with it, and you say, oh, wait a minute, another opportunity, what is this? Oh, here's another trigger. And then I teach you how to deal with these things. And so you stop being this freaked out person. And then when stuff happens, you recognize what's going on now. You become conscious of what's going on in your head and your heart. And so you're quicker to correct it, so your frequency keeps going up. So what happens? You stop believing that you can only manifest a button, and you know you can manifest a castle, because the universe doesn't measure gold from dust, right? It doesn't. It just gives you exactly what you are focused on. So when you go to that high level of manifesting, advanced manifesting, you can manifest anything, but you have to clear out that low level frequency, and that's the key to miracles. And so when people are in bed and they're really ill, a lot of these people are going into that space of peace. They're already going over to the other side, and they're experiencing that pure bliss, and they're realizing there's nothing to fear anymore. And so they're releasing that, and many of them are able to go into a healing miracle because they're at that point where they're just letting go of everything. And so they're open to it, and they accept it. And that's what's happening. I hope this makes sense. If you have any more questions about miracles, I'm so happy to answer it, because it's quite simple. But we place such an amazing name on it because it happens so infrequently, happening more and more now though, because we just don't believe that we had the power. These things you shall do and more, you're all God's. I didn't say that. Somebody else did, who was pretty darn important. You're whole and perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.